Hey guys, Tearless here inside Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns. This is the last beta weekend. I'm taking a look at all of the professions and the changes that are coming to them in Heart of Thorns. Specifically in this video, I want to look at the Warrior and their elite specialization of the Beserker. So as with all elite specializations, they come with, kind of an additive change to the class as a whole a little bit. And then they're given a new weapon skill, or I should say a new weapon to use or offhand to use, and then they're also given new utility skills. In the case of the Beserker, you are given a torch as your new weapon skill, so you have two new abilities, and then you're also given utility skills that are rage abilities. Now, the major change when you make a Beserker, as always, you can see it right here at the very first talent in the Beserker tree. It'll explain what you get, and it's Berserk, very original name. Basically, it's a rage ability that you gain adrenaline and attack speed boost, and you have access to primal burst skills. So you have your normal 3-tier burst skills, but instead you're going to have a primal burst skills. So that's actually the reason why I'm down here instead of my secluded area, because I'm going to have to be building up this bar a lot because there's at least 7 of the primal burst skills that I want to show you, and I don't want to take up too much time. So as I said, you have access to that, and you get this ability known as Berserk, which is the F2 right here, which basically you gain an attack speed increase of 15% and adrenaline plus 10. All of the other quickness, swiftness, stability, boon, application, interval, those are all talents that are added in to make it even better, but the base is attack speed increase of 15% and the adrenaline plus 10. So, before I get into looking at all the primal burst skills, let's look at the torch and what it brings. The first ability is known as Blaze Breaker. Smash your torch into the ground, creating a deadly shock wave that conditions foes. So let me go ahead and use this up here. Right there, you can see it kind of fires past, and it gives fire to everyone. So that's a pretty awesome ability that I have right now. The fifth ability, Flames of War, you cleanse conditions and become a mobile fire field that burns nearby foes. When the field expires, it explodes, damaging foes and burning them again. So, as you can see here, I have the mobile fire field that just sticks with me and burns people as I go through. So that's pretty cool. Those are pretty cool abilities. Kind of plays into the Berserker role of what they do. It's another example of the number 4 ability, but pretty cool. A lot of burning in this using the torch, which is obvious. So going into the primal burst skills, you activate them by activating Berserk, and I'm going to be running back and forth so that I can explain the abilities to you before I use them, or else this will take a long time. So for the first two, we have Decapitate, which is you leap at your foe with a powerful attack, and foes behind your target will also take damage. This is the primal burst for an axe in your main hand. The second one that we'll be looking at is Arc Divider, which is going to be your great sword primal burst. Deliver a circular attack to foes around you, creating a violent shock wave that damages foes. You'll deal more damage to foes with low health. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Berserk, and we're going to see what this can actually do. So we'll use it here, and then we have her there. We jump to them, jump to them, and that's going to happen. And you see how quickly it builds back up. And I can switch, there's the great sword version. And it builds up pretty quickly. Depending on how much you attack, it'll build up very quickly, much faster than your burst skill does normally under other circumstances. And that kind of plays into the role of the Berserker. You have the ability to constantly switch out like that. Now, I'm going to be running in and out just so that I can switch weapons, and in the meantime, I will tell you what we're getting next. In the next one, we're going to be looking at the hammer, and then the longbow. So, for the hammer, we have Rupturing Smash. Jump to the targeted location and slam your hammer down, creating deadly chain of earth and shock waves that immobilize foes. And then for the longbow, we have Scorched Earth. Fire a burning shot that leaves behind a trail of flaming destruction. It's almost a devastation. Close enough, though. So, let's go ahead and equip them on the way over there. I believe I will use this instead. We have the hammer. Then we have the longbow. So there are the two. Let's go ahead and use them up here. Build up our burst. Go into rage, and then we will check this out. And here we go. I'll go ahead and jump. You can see the targeted there. That's the immobilization. And then if I were to switch over to this, you can see the fire arrow launching and how far it goes. It goes pretty far, which is pretty nice. Once again, you can see it. It goes out really far. So those are the two primal burst abilities for both the hammer and the longbow. The next two are going to be the mace and the rifle. So looking at the mace, we have Skull Grinder. Unleash a powerful strike that dazes your target and inflicts multiple conditions. So you can see the amount of conditions there. Blindness, bleeding, confusion, cripple. I mean, it's all over the place. The next one, which is the gun, or sorry, the rifle. The primal burst is fire a fast flaming shot that explodes on the first foe it hits, interrupting foes in the area. So, those are our two new ones. Let's go ahead and equip them. There's the gun. And then let's put the mace in here. If I can find it, here it is. Yes, replace that. Alright, let's build this up. Build this up. And then we will go ahead and activate Berserk. And you can see Skull Grinder. Adds all the applications in. Lots of them. Switch to rifle, you can see Gun Flame. It's got kind of a charge up time, but man does it hit. It hits a lot. Here's another one. And there you can see, it hits all those golems at once. So these primal burst skills are really cool, and if you notice, each time I use a primal burst skill, it really regenerates rather quickly. It regenerates rather quickly. So it plays into the whole theme of a berserker, you know, just constantly firing off those skills. And this lasts for 15 seconds, so you could fire off multiple berserk skills if there's plenty of people in the area. The last one that we're going to look at is Flaming Fury. However, I will read off the descriptions of the underwater ones just so you have them, but I will not show them. The first of those is going to be, I believe, Burning Shackles. I think this is the harpoon gun. I could be wrong. It could be the spear. One of the two. It looks like it's the harpoon gun. Fire a fast, forceful shot that immobilizes and burns foes. And then the Wild World. Strike all foes around you, burning and pulling them in. That one should be for the spear. The last one that we're looking at here, though, on land is going to be Flaming Flurry. Lash out with a flurry of strikes that destroys projectiles and shoots fireballs at foes in front of you. So that is going to be for the sword. So let's go ahead and jump into battle here. Equip a sword. Right here. I'll go ahead and put a torch back on. Okay, never mind, I had a great sword on. If I can find a regular... There we go. That's all I wanted. Alright, now we can test it. Sorry about that. And build it up. And then we'll head into Berserk. Here you can see, I mean, jeez. I mean, you literally go into a flurry on that thing and continue to use it over and over and over again. No. You can see more clearly now, you know, how quickly this builds up and you can use it again just from doing that. And Berserk's cooldown is not very long either. So as you can see, it's rebuilding really quickly, and then I'm going to be able to go into the Berserk again and then fire off this again. So it really plays into the Berserk role of you're constantly launching off these really powerful attacks over and over and over and over again. So that's really cool. So, the last part of the Berserker is going to be, you know, the rage abilities that come with it. And I don't have a good application for these because this is not really like anything we've had before. It's not like signets or traps or anything like that. This is something different. So you have rage abilities. And this first one is your heal. You heal yourself and gain increased critical hit chance. Critical hits heal for a % damage and grant bonus adrenaline. adrenaline. So let's go ahead and use this.
Now there's the power.
Right there, nothing too special. That's the first one. The next one is called Shattering Blow. You summon a rock in front of you and then shatter it to gain adrenaline and send rock fragments at all foes in front of you. Foes bleed based on how close they are to the rock. The shockwave produced by this attack reflects projectiles. So let's go ahead and use it on this dummy right here. That was a lot of damage right there. I mean, I know there was someone behind it, but that was a lot of damage right there. Wild Blow. Lash out with a critical attack that launches your target. Your target flies backwards with such force that they knock back other foes in the way. Gain bonus adrenaline if this move hits. So, once this golem comes back up, we'll go ahead and test it. Right there. Knockback, simple as that. We can use Shattering Blow again. Right there. Pretty cool. So the third item here is Sundering Leap. You leap to a location and gain adrenaline. When you land, deal damage and inflict conditions on all foes in the area. So we'll go ahead and use this.
Adrenaline at maximum volume.
Basically how it is. Just extra abilities is basically what they are. We'll use a Shattering Blow again. You can see it doesn't do that much damage. It was just the fact that the Necromancer or the Revenant back there was attacking at the same time I was. That's what made it look like it did so much damage. The last ability right here is Outrage. Break out a stun and gain adrenaline for each foe near you. So I'll go ahead and use this. Basically, nothing too shabby. You basically have to read the tooltip and understand what it does. No real flash in this one. The last rage that you get is going to be your elite, and it is Headbutt. Stun your target, stun yourself, and gain adrenaline if you hit. So we'll go ahead and use Headbutt right here. Right there. And I stunned myself. So all of the rage abilities, you know, from the primal burst to everything, they all play into the theme of having this Beserker that's just out of control and does crazy amounts of damage. Now, for the last thing to look at, their talent tree, I'm going to just take a look at each one of these. I already explained what the first one does. It basically tells you what you're getting with Beserker. In the second tree, it talks, you have Smash Brawler, which reduces the recharge on Primal Burst skills and Berserk mode. Honestly, this one I think is awesome to have, because then you're like I said, you're flying off those abilities all the time. There's Last Blaze. When you use a rage skill, set nearby foes on fire. And then the third one is Savage Instinct. Activating Berserk mode breaks stuns and removes conditions. So you have a defensive type of ability here, and then you have more of an offensive type one here, and then you have kind of middle ground AoE radius. Really, I think it's between the top and bottom here. Your middle talent is going to be Always Angry. Your first strike when entering combat generates extra adrenaline. Always Angry refreshes whenever Berserk mode ends. So that's pretty cool. The top one here for the second tree is Blood Reaction. A percentage of precision is given as a bonus to Ferocity. This bonus is doubled in Berserk mode, so that's pretty good conversion there for Ferocity, especially when you're in Berserk mode. Heat of the Soul, reduces recharge on torch skills, gain condition damage while wielding a torch. So that just kind of is a talent there if you're using a torch. It all depends on what your playstyle is. The third one here, Dead or Alive, taking fatal damage while in Berserk mode, ends Berserk but heals you. So kind of a nice recovery talent there. Has 30-second cooldown, but it is something you can take there just in case. Fatal Frenzy. This is your third and last minor. Gain boons when activating Berserk mode. These are the boons that I was talking about in Berserk that are already there. So quickness and swiftness, those come from this right here. The top of the last tree, you have Bloody Roar. Taunt and bleed enemies when you activate Berserk mode. Gain fury for each foe that you taunt. So you have a taunt, you have bleeding, and fury all wrapped into one there. Your middle one is King of Fires. Increases the duration of burning you apply. Critical hits against burning foes spread to nearby foes. So this one's really good if you're really going to wield that torch as your offhand. I mean, so you're spreading fire basically to everyone around you, so that's pretty awesome. The last one here is Eternal Champion. Gain stability while in Berserk mode. Gain stability when you break out of a stun. You're going to have a lot of stability considering how quickly, we talked about how Berserk, you can get back into Berserk mode, how quickly you can get back into Berserk mode, and it lasts for 15 seconds. You pair it with this right here, Smash Brawler, and you have even less time. So this is actually a really nice talent to have. It'll give you stability a good chunk of the time. So those are the talents for the Berserk mode. I really, really like how ArenaNet kind of blended these all in together to really bring alive the Berserker theme in the Warrior. But that is everything for Berserker. In Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns as a warrior, I can see a lot of people having fun with this. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Tearless out. See ya.